Hello there, Nokorop here, and we are back in the Buried Ocean to talk about and go through all of the New in Town Seafarers content that is now available in the New in Town Dimensions expansion pack that is still in pre-release stage, but is fully available on Planet Minecraft. So everything you're going to see in this video, once again, is available for download in the Planet Minecraft project page. There was an update a couple of days ago that added a couple new structures to both this and to excavators, so I apologize for the outdatedness of the excavators video at this point, but of course everything's still in pre-release. There's still lots of new content to be added, lots of things are still subject to change, so please be aware of that as we continue through these dev diary videos. Let's go ahead and jump in. Of course, last episode I went ahead and already grabbed the fleet manifest just in case you were going to have time. Obviously we did not, but let's go ahead out here to this nice open ocean. Let's see. I don't want to get cut off by these obsidian icebergs. Obviously we could just like break through them, but I like having a nice open space. So let's get our fleet right here. So the fleet manifest can only be used when you're in water and in the buried ocean. So technically you could do it in a lake on a land biome, but I really do recommend doing it in the open sea. There's plenty of ocean to start your fleet in. So let's go ahead and do that. It'll give us a second to give us our ship here, the captain ship. Like the wagon for New in Town Kingdoms, the sails will change color to the same color as your wagon's cover. So again, that personalization I think is really cool. This is our captain ship. We got some cannons here. We got a cool little thing here at the front. And then our first mate right here, who will sell us the recipes. We'll go ahead and grab that now. And then similar to excavators, instead of using a building permit or anything like that, you will have to speak to your first mate here to get prepared ship hulls for all of your ships. And that just helps keep the recipes looking nice and tight, keep the, vast number of resources that need to be in the site planner down so that they can be a little more creative with how they're laid out. So for 64 stripped oak logs and 64 white wool, you can get a prepared ship hull, which will be required for every recipe. Reason it's stripped oak logs is because since there's not really anything that makes sense to be smelted for ships to build boats, I wanted there to be some kind of work involved. So you can, of course, there are plenty of ways to get stripped oak logs a little more automatically. It will go over that here as well. The Seafarers supplies one manner of doing so, but this way you do have to put in a little bit of effort, at least to kind of get started. Now, with that said, unlike excavators, you do get one free prepared ship hull right here. So I'll go ahead and copy that. So that'll be in your chest to get you started. Since 64 stripped oak logs, not too hard to get, you gotta strip them yourself, but 64 white wool can take a little while before you get a decent arrangement going. So let's go ahead and take a look at our ship recipes in here. So of course this uses the new recipe book system. So we've got our index right here. We're gonna go ahead and skip to the introduction right here. So this is, again, an example layout. This recipe doesn't actually do anything, but most recipes are going to use a combination of different colored wools, which I think is really cool for different colored sails that kind of demonstrate what those ships actually do. They're all going to use a prepared ship hull, like I said, it'll be down at the bottom, as well as apples. Apples are going to be an important resource here. So if we actually go down into the ship's hull down here, you'll see the hoppers for this dimension. So the items that you collect on a daily basis are white wool and apples. So oak logs you do not collect. Ship oak logs are not collected as daily resource drops. You'll have to use the ones from the overworld or go out in the buried ocean to like a verdant grove and collect them that way. Of course, there is also plenty of oak trees in the in-between, so you could use those as well. But white wool, apples are going to be your daily resource drops here once you build the correct ships. Correct ships being the weaver ship to start collecting white wool, as well as the fruit ship to start collecting apples. I believe it's 2 apples a day. We'll go ahead and check here shortly. Oh, let's not fall in the water. I'm not going to go through all the recipes or put the recipes in. I have been working hard to make sure that the recipes are accurate and that they all work. But if you do find any issues with that, please let me know and I'll be happy to fix them right away. So let's do grant at S only knit C recipes and we'll do the Weaver first. The Weaver ship. So whenever you construct a ship, you'll see a little action bar message that went down there. Pirates have attacked your fleet. Because the buried ocean has a ceiling, I can't necessarily spread them super duper well, so they often end up in the water, but there can be pillagers who will have crossbows. So you're not necessarily safe just because you are up here on the boats. Or on your fleet, and then they're chilling in the water. Now these two happen to be Vindicators, they're just some swashbucklers, but if we go ahead and kill them, come on, you'll see that they do drop wool and stripped oak logs, which kind of helps supply you with some of that, as well as gold ingots. So this can be a good way to kind of supplement your normal resource collecting, so you don't have to wait around quite so much for white wool in particular, and necessarily don't have to strip a bunch of oak logs. Gold ingots, obviously, just because gold is the main currency of Newentown, and they are pirates. So if we take a look at our Weaver ship, let's take a look at it from up here. We've got these cool striped sails right here. And then piles of wool kind of sitting around. This is meant to look like a giant loom, sorta. We got scaffolding kind of all over the place. I don't know if you can hear my cat having a crazy time, just throwing a fit. Let's go ahead and come down in here where we can meet our Weaver. He's got a couple of looms here, some more wool and stuff. And if we talk to him, he can, of course, buy and sell white wool. So again, to kind of help supplement your normal resource collecting, he can sell you some white banners at a pretty insignificant cost. So they can help you start making your own banners should you want to. And then he can also sell a chest of dyes. In fact, let's go ahead and purchase that, as well as a chest of wools. We'll go ahead and purchase one of those as well. So let's see what's inside of here. So chest of dyes, if we place that down, obviously you would not have infinite of them, and that gives you 4 of every dye. So that can be really helpful to start collecting all the different colors of wool that you need for the various kinds of ships. If we go ahead and open the chest of wools, it's the same kind of thing, 4 wool of every color. So of course that's going to be a little bit more expensive, and it's going to basically convert all this white wool using the dyes from a chest of dyes into, and a little bit of extra money, into 4 of every color wool. So really, really helpful. And a great way to kind of get started in building some of the more complex ships, or ships that have some of the more rare colors like purple or something. The dyes are probably going to be more useful for you, but if you know you just need 4 of a couple of things, then this might be a little bit cheaper for you, depending on what resources you have. Alrighty, so let's come on and build over here. We'll do our fruit ship right here. And once again, we'll get some pirates. Your first pirate attack will be 2, and then every time after that, there will be 1 additional pirate. And there's 3 different kinds of pirates that can spawn. They do use loot tables to determine what they drop. So it looks like we've got some more swashbucklers here. Yes, indeed. There is 2 main ones, swashbucklers and rangers, I believe they're called, for the pillagers. Why'd I get another netherite sword? And then there can also be captains, which are pretty rare, in part because they're very strong. They have a netherite axe. I think they have a little bit of extra attack damage or something. And they also have a chance to drop prepared ship hulls. So if you get a captain at any point, you will always have a captain every other attack that you get, or every future attack that you get. But it's still pretty rare to get one of those. Alright, let's check out our fruit ship that we just built. So we've got these cool vines here that start to grow and hang down from those logs that are supposed to be kind of like barrels, not quite. The sails have like a cool apple design on them. Obviously a little bit silly because it's got the hole right in the middle for the actual sail to connect to the post. But then we've got some iron bars looking down to bring some supposedly light into the fruit ship. There's a sponge here because of these trapdoors. They become waterlogged when you place structure blocks, when you spawn these ships in the buried ocean. So some of the structures, I've tried to keep it very limited, but some of the structures will have a sponge just to suck that initial water up. If we go ahead and replant these seeds real quick, there's nothing too special about them, just wheat seeds that will always drop wheat. But if we talk to our fruit tender right here, we will see that he can buy and sell apples. Probably a little bit too inexpensive, a little bit too affordable, but that's all right. And you can also turn wheat into apples. So if you don't have the gold, that is the reason you would want this wheat farm to, convert into apples slowly but surely. Let's go ahead up here and change the time of day. Do I have game rule? Do day true. I should make sure of that. And then we will set the time to 5900 and hop down here and see what resources we get. There we go. So it should be 12 wool. Oh, 8 wool. 8 white wool a day and 3 apples a day. Okay. So that is what you get daily for every weaver ship and every fruit ship. And of course, that does stack for each. There isn't a resource doubler for this dimension. So those are going to be your main ways of getting daily resources. But you can, like I said, supplement that collection by killing the pirates, going exploring. There's apples in a lot of the chests in the buried ocean. And of course, you can purchase them from your fruit ship. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Carpenter ship. Again, we're kind of looking at the less expensive side of things. We'll go ahead and build that right over here. Carpenter, awesome. Oop, and we got some more pirates. Oh, and here's one that actually did spawn on the bridge, or on the gangplank here. There we go. We'll take care of all these guys. There's a ranger, so we can show you that guy. I mean, he's just a pillager with a crossbow, but still. Come on. Good, good. And then, oh, this guy's actually on the ship. Lucky him. There we go. Okay. So Carpenter ship. It's got these barrels on the sail. Supposed to be kind of barrels or logs, if you like. A lot of scaffolding, because you do use that in the construction. We've got a little bit of glass down here to look into the carpenter's workshop. And if we talk to the carpenter, he can sell us oak logs. He doesn't produce oak logs on a daily basis, but he does sell them. And for a price, he can also, or for a bit of a loss, I should say, he can strip these oak logs for you. So you can trade him 8 oak logs to get 7 stripped oak logs. So again, a little bit of a loss, but a convenient way if you don't feel like axing a bunch of logs, then you can get them stripped for you. Let's go ahead and hop on up here and take a look at what we want to build next. We'll do the Quartermaster's Galleon. This is a relatively new one. It was just added when the 1.17 pre-release or when the pre-release was updated to 1.17, I should say. So a little bit more on the expensive side, kind of comparable to a homestead. Only uses 1 apple because it's supposed to just be your home, not necessarily anybody else's. You can, of course, live on the captain's ship. That is personally what I do, but you don't have to, and this home ship is provided for your convenience. So really, really cool. It's got these high walls here. We'll go take a look more closely in a minute, but nice red sails. Let's go ahead and take care of all these pirates real quick. I am killing them by hand just because if there does end up being a captain, I do kind of want to show you guys. But otherwise, we'll just go ahead and sweep through these pretty quickly. There we go. And they're called Pirate Bowmen, not Pirate Rangers. That's good. Ranger wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but I also wouldn't put it past me. So, if we come on over here, I'm going to go ahead and clear these things that I don't need. There we go. If we come on over here, we can see the Galleon. All the ships have ladders to climb up the sides, should you need to, in case you fall in the water or anything like that. But this one has doors to protect you, kinda, as well as on the gangplanks themselves. If we come in here, we've got quite a lot of barrels, workbench over here. We've got some chests and a jukebox, and we also have this sign, to sleep at the wheel. So in the buried ocean, respawn anchors as well as beds do not work. They will explode. Ooh, a close squid. Ooh, looks like another one over there somewhere. They will explode, which means that there's no real way to respawn here in the buried ocean. You have to set your spawn point back in the overworld or something. Same with the in-between. I don't think either of them work there either. So this provides a way to do that. I probably should make it send a message, but I couldn't quite figure out how to do that really easily, and I want to just make sure that at least this worked. So if you right-click this sign, then you sleep at the wheel. It doesn't actually physically do anything right away, but if we do, I'm going to keep inventory on. I think it was already, but let's go ahead and kill myself. And we respawn right here. So it works just like a bed. It doesn't set the world spawn or anything like that. If you go sleep in another bed, that'll be your new respawn point. If you break that bed, this is no longer your respawn point until you come back and sleep here once again. So the home ship, or the Quartermaster's Galleon, is really useful in that regard to get your spawn point set here in the buried ocean. Let's come on down here. We've got a nice little carpeted area with some armor stands, lots of furnaces, more chests. So you actually really get a lot of good resources and kind of set up by building this ship. A really nice home to establish yourself in, spread your items out, organize. Lots of furnaces to smelt things in, even though there's not much to smelt in the buried ocean or in Seafarers. But just gives you all the resources you could need to have a comfortable home. Not a perfect home, so obviously there's no enchanting table or anything like that, but a comfortable home for sure. All right, I think let's go ahead and take a look here. We'll go ahead and build the Cartographer ship next. So this one's a little bit more of an expensive structure, and you'll see why here shortly. It does require a little bit of glass, quite a bit of blue wool, cartography tables, item frames, and some empty maps. If we come on over here, where do I want to build the cartography ship? Let's do it over here. Oh dear, okay. And, oh, is it just called map? Yes, it is. There we go. All right, so you'll see we just got the Galleon advancement for discovering a huge warship. If we come on right over here, we will see just over there, that was not there before. Take a look at that. Huge Galleon, the masts reaching all the way, scraping the ceiling. Giant black flags with a Illager face on it. So we're gonna go check that out in just a second. This is the cartography ship. We'll go ahead and kill all these pirates here first. Then we'll look at the cartography ship. Then we'll look at the Galleon. Oh dear, okay. And over here. Oh, there's a captain. So he's got a little bit of extra health, I do believe. Yes, indeed. He's taken quite a few hits. Oh, okay. And he did drop a prepared ship hull for us. That's very nice of him. Let's go ahead and take care of the rest of these. So captains are pretty rare, but now that we've got one, all the rest of our pirate attacks for the future will have at least one captain. Pirate attacks do occur on every functional structure that you build, up to and including your 9th structure. After that, they will stop appearing. Cartography ship, here is that right here. We've got a cool little red X on this blue sail. Kind of supposed to be, you know, X marks the spot type situation. Got similar thing going on over here, kind of a large map of an island it's supposed to be with a big X on it. Kind of another one over here. Painting for some reason. Paintings fall when you build structures. I don't understand why. Similar thing right here, of course, a map of a world with an X on it. This is one of those ones where we do have a sponge here to kind of suck up that water. That's going to spawn because of these stairs here that got waterlogged. We've got more of these X mark the spot maps. This one right here is supposed to be more of a sepia colored one. Not necessarily like in the nether or anything like that. And then we've got a loom over here for him to make these banners, these maps. Then we've got our cartographer. So if we talk to him real quick, he can sell us empty maps, which is nice. And then he can sell us chests that contain a buried treasure map, an ocean monument map, or a woodland mansion map. He can also sell lodestones to us, which is really, really nice, because I feel like it's a really, really important, useful item to have available, sort of. Still expensive to some degree, but I don't feel like it should require a netherite ingot. So I definitely wanted some way for the player to get these, especially exploring all of these vast dimensions and wanting to travel really far to see all the biomes, but not wanting to get lost. So lodestone, very, very useful here. These 3 chests, like I said, when you place them down, they will have a map that will be a map to one of these 3 locations, whichever one you purchased. Does not work in this dimension, though. You do have to place these down in the overworld and open them in the overworld for the maps to actually show you anything. So very important to keep in mind when you're building a cartographer. Another painting. Let's come on up here and take a look at the Illager Galleon. Oh, and kill this pirate on the way. So the Illager Galleon is supposed to be kind of like the Excavator's Illager or Piglin Cave. So it appears on your 5th structure and will be restocked with pirates for the 6th structure. If we come on over here, it is dark, so we will have other mobs jumping around and spawning in sometimes. But if you're approaching in survival, you're probably going to come in from the ladders right here on the sides, up these trapdoors, and that'll take you to the deck of the Pirates Galleon. So let's come on over here, start killing these pirates. These are very similar to the pirates that you fight normally, that have been attacking your ship. There's just a lot more of them, and they're on this cool structure that is pretty stocked with all kinds of loot. We got gunpowder here, supposed to be piles of concrete powder and concrete. Well, it just turned to concrete because of the water, but piles of concrete powder and barrels that's supposed to be gunpowder. And some of these barrels, I think, might have TNT. Maybe not. Maybe not. Take care of this swashbuckler here. See, nothing up there. Up here we've got this the captain's quarters. So this pirate captain is actually just a little bit stronger than normal captains. In fact, he has a totem of undying, as you can see right there. Other than that, he is just a normal captain in terms of loot, but he does have a chest in here that can have some pretty decent loot. Some enchanted books, golden iron, an enchanted diamond shovel, very nice, and then a couple of arrows as well. And then he's got this very nicely decorated captain's quarters. If we come over here, we can go below deck to the rest of these pirates. And you see this is just a massive ship. We'll take a look again at the outside in a second, but we've got these kind of raised platforms here for them to shoot the cannons out from the inside. Nice protected walls. Got another pirate right here. None of the barrels, I think, are filled with any loot, but all the chests ought to be. So we've got some supplies in here, crossbows, TNT, some more enchanted books, most of which are cursed. And then we've got gunpowder and string and arrows and stuff. I think there's another over here, but that one is empty. If we come up here, oh boy, we've got another pirate right here, as well as some gold blocks that you can collect. Oh dear. There we go. We'll come on back down here and take care of the rest of these pirates. There we go. Oh, come here. Oh, got some TNT right there. Another supply chest right here. Same kind of stuff. Can sometimes have emeralds. Goodbye. So you can get a lot of materials once you find the galleon. That can really help you out, since the ships are fairly expensive. So I feel like this is a good way to kind of help circumvent that. No chests in this room. Oh, hello. Thank you. And then if we come on back here, this will be the brig. So similar to the piglin cages that were in the piglin cave in the excavators. Oh, that's not what I wanted. You open this lever, and that lets you access these cages. There's no one in them, but if we pop on up here, then we can see we've got a chest here with some minimal resources, bottles of enchanting, string, a little bit of raw food and stuff, and then a cauldron right here. That chest is very similar to the piglin caves, prisoner chests, so they can sometimes have writable books as well. Let's come on back out here. And that should be the bulk of the galleon, so we'll go ahead and climb back up and take a look at the huge Illager galleon in all of its glory from the front here. The water's kind of getting in the way. Let's see if we can plug that up, actually. There we go. So it's going to take a second to fall down, but huge, just an enormous ship. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I built this on stream in Twitch at one point. I'm going to stop streaming on Twitch, mostly do YouTube streaming from now on when I do. But yeah, built this on stream, really happy with how it turned out. We've got this Illager face on this sail right here. Nice angry Illager face with kind of crossbones through it on the flag. Ooh, mobs are starting to spawn. Just enormous and such awesome detail. We've got an anchor right here I'm really happy with. Yeah, I'm really happy with this ship. It's really, really cool and so fun to explore and fight all the pirates. Really, really neat. Okay, so back to Seafarers, back to the fleet, I should say, because this is all part of Seafarers. We've got a livestock ship. not terribly expensive. Probably going to need silk touch to get the grass, but overall a fairly cheap and not useless necessarily, but more of a structure for the sake of having a structure. We'll go ahead and build that real quick. At this point, I am going to go ahead and just kill all the pirates. Tag equals knit pirate. There we go. And I believe the Galleon will have gotten stocked as well, so I might go ahead and just kill those real quick. Well, maybe not. Maybe because I was too far away. Alright, pop on back over here. Check out the livestock ship. So this, the sails have got a pig on it on some grass, which I think is just cute. We've got iron bars similar to the fruit ship that let you come on down and get some natural light into these pens that have some grass. You've got 2 cows, 2 pigs, and 1 sheep right here. And the sides of the ship do have these fence gates or fences, so that the animals can kind of see out and get some technically fresh air, salty air certainly, from the buried ocean. We got these trapdoors back here, which I think look nice. So, like I said, mostly a ship for the sake of having a ship that has livestock on it. It doesn't do a whole lot, but if you want to breed some animals and get a little bit of a food supply going here, this is the ship to do it. You can see these gangplanks are, of course, attaching at the all the available sides. All right, what is up next? Let's see. Chemistry ship. So chemistry ship is supposed to be sort of like your apothecary in the overworld, but as you'll see, he's just a little bit different. He doesn't necessarily sell resources or sell, potion ingredients. Instead, he's actually going to buy some potions from you. So we'll go ahead and do that. And yeah, there's the Illager Galleon getting restocked now. So I was just a little bit too far away, way over there. Just a consequence of the fleet being so huge. Or the fleet structures being so huge. They're 25 blocks wide instead of 15 like normal. So you can definitely spread out quite a bit, especially going to the sides rather than front and back. Okay, so the chemistry ship, it's got this cool little, like a science bottle going on. Right here, a vial of some kind of green potion. We've got piles of soul sand, a little bit of crimson wood right here, and then a cauldron up here. If we come on down into the ship, or into the hull, we've got a little bit of another wart farm going, some more cauldrons. Sort of a semi-automatic brewing stand situation going on here. You've got a hopper that can take the potions out when you're ready with this lever, put them in the chest, and then you can kind of auto-stock some of the materials from these barrels. Obviously more so for show than anything else. If you wanted to upgrade this, you would go huge and build a proper machine, but it's just supposed to look cool. We've got our chemister right here, but different, like I said, from the apothecary. He will sell you blaze powder should you need it, as well as bottles. But for the most part, he's going to want to buy some powerful potions from you. So potions of invisibility, regeneration 2, slow falling. So these are specific potions that he wants. Splash potions of instant damage, splash potion of luck, and then a lingering potion of poison are going to be the main ones that he wants from you. So good way to get some gold if you have some spare resources, some spare time. He will pay you handsomely for several of them, but otherwise just a cool ship to have, and especially to get another wart farm going here in the buried ocean. Take a look at what's next. Looks like we've got our mushroom ship. So this is more of a fun one to have some cool food, a nice food supply here in the buried ocean, since food, and good food especially, is going to be very far between. Going to the verdant grove every time you need farm animals is going to be hard, and the livestock ship can only go so far. Same with the fruit ship. So if we go ahead and build the mushroom ship right here, we'll kill the pirates. Goodbye. So we've got huge mushrooms sprouting up from the ship. The wood is kind of decaying a little bit because of the mushrooms, so we've got different kinds of wood here. It's supposed to be kind of rotting compared to the rest of the oak of the ship. If we come on over here, same with the longs. Looks like they're gray. Obviously, they're just acacia, but it's meant to kind of mimic rotting wood. So we come on down into the hull. Similar to the livestock ship, we've got these pens of some mushrooms. Quite a few mushrooms, actually. I think there's 4 or 5 on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, indeed. And then back here, we also have the mushroom steward. which I think is a really, really good pun. And he will buy and sell mushroom soup, or mushroom stew. Obviously, more likely you would just be getting mushroom stew yourself from the mushrooms, which is why it is not sell for very much. But you do lose the wooden bowl, of course. He can also sell you a suspicious stew, no telling what that's going to do. And he will also purchase fungus from you from the nether and sell you mushroom blocks for a pretty decent price for the amount that you get. So really useful ship to have around for food, to get some rare blocks. Really just a fun ship for sure. Let's take a look here at what is next for us. Oh, we've got our warship. So the warship's going to have a privateer, which is very, very useful. We'll go ahead and build that. Let's go right up front here, I think. And warship, there we go. And that'll be our 9th structure, which means the dark laboratory has been discovered. We'll go take a look at that in a second, but for now, let's take care of these pirates. And then we'll look at our warship here. So the warship, obviously, it's got a nice skull and crossbones on the black sails, which I think is really cool. The warship functions largely like a guard tower, so it is going to weaken drowned nearby. I think it weakens Illagers, I'm not quite sure. And it does have a privateer right here with a bunch of cannons, and he can sell you a really cool wooden sword called the Seafarers Cutlass. Obviously it's wooden, so it's not going to be amazing, but it does have knockback 2, looting 3, mending, and a curse of vanishing. The more important thing the privateer does for you is convert your TNT into gunpowder. So this, combined with the Demolisher in the counteroffensive back in the nether, is a really great way to get lots of gunpowder for firework rockets, since there's not really another way to do so in all of Newentown. There's nothing really down in the hull, except for a bunch of TNT. Looks like I forgot to put a sponge in here. But we've got some barrels, we've got some more cannons. Overall, just a cool looking warship for the most part. So let's see, we got the dark laboratory for discovering the Illager's lab, where undead experiments take place. So let's go ahead and take a look at that before we finish the rest of our ships. So we'll come on over here. So we can see, obviously, the glowing mobs. The lightning pointed us here. We've got this nice dome over here that you might have seen me trying to not look too hard at while I was building the rest of those ships. So this does appear as soon as you start your fleet, unlike the Galleon. So it can be found early, but luckily you can't progress too far too early. You can't really take full advantage of this structure until you've built your 9th structure and revealed it properly. So if we come on down here, this is the entrance. We've got a little bit of a water barrier here to keep things nice and fresh. If we come in here, we've got some witches, necro-scientists. Oh, looks like someone's having a bad time down there. Unfortunately, looks like the sponges that I have in here that get cleared as part of the structure spawning don't always work, so this chest did end up getting waterlogged. But if we take a look inside, we've got some pretty decent loot, lots of bottles of enchanting, emerald, obsidian, crying obsidian, a couple of enchanted books. You can sometimes get wither roses and soul sand, so a nice chest. Same over here. It's going to be a lot of similar materials, cobbled deep slate, things like that. If we kill the necro-scientists, they will drop lapis lazuli and bone meal, among other things, I believe. This drowned spawned naturally, so he's just going to be a normal drowned. Let's take care of this guy here. A little bit of gold as well. They do have of course, enchanting table back here and a brewing stand, so it can be kind of useful to grab some of the material that is here. If we come on down the stairs, we can come into this big chamber here. Looks like the sponges in here didn't get cleared either, which is interesting. I'll take care of these necro-scientists. Whoop. Come on, guys. Yeah, gonna get rid of these sponges. I don't know why they didn't clear. I'll have to finagle with that in a little bit. We do have some loot chests down here. Ooh, very good loot chests. So this is, of course, the 9th structure of Seafarers, which means similar to the Excavators expansion, this is going to be where your boss battle is going to take place. This loot is absurd. You've got 4 tridents. I might honestly adjust that because that's crazy. We do get a Totem of Undying, which I'm going to go ahead and take. Rest of this I shouldn't really need, but you can see we get some decent enchanted books, gas tears, emeralds, blaze rods, wither roses, tridents, obviously. If we come over here, similar things. Let's go ahead and gear up, and once again we are going to try and take this on legit. Here we go. So let's see, semi-legit I should say. Put that on. We'll grab some golden apples. You should have a pretty decent supply. Pork chops. We'll go ahead and get some milk. And I think we're looking good. Yeah. So let's go ahead, turn to survival mode, and let's do this. So similar to excavators, you're going to want to break this wither rose to start the battle. Wait a second. There it is. So Raiden the Necromancer appears. He's going to start casting his spells, but in the meantime, these drowned that were locked in the glass cages are going to escape and try to kill us. They are normal strength drowned. Oh dear. Oh gosh. No. That's a little bit fast. Oh boy. Ow. Okay. So Raiden's going to start casting his spells. Oh, looks like he just turned vulnerable. So similar to Rexiel in the Primordial Desert. Oh boy. He is invulnerable when his boss bar is blue. Oh boy. And when his boss bar turns white, then he'll become vulnerable, but he will put a lingering potion of weakness down when that happens. So that is going to reduce your ability to fight him. He has two other spells. Once he becomes while he's invulnerable, I should say, he summons these undead experiments that are pretty weak, but there are 3 of them, so if you let them pile up, obviously they can do some damage. And we've got this homing spell that drops at the moment splash potions of instant harming. Let's go ahead and fight him some. Oh, looks like he's making it nice and easy for us. Again, once he gets down to half health, he's going to come down and start actually moving like normal. Oh boy. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, his spells are going to, become a lot more frequent. They're faster. Oh boy. Instead of summoning 3 drowned, he will summon 1 with a trident. He, oh gosh. He'll cast 2 homing spells that will drop lingering potions of harming. Oh gosh. Just like that. Oh, and there the spells home faster too. A weakness and a harming, I should say. Oh dear. When he makes himself vulnerable, he will also give himself regeneration, so you do gotta watch out for that because he can go back up, to more than half health, and then return to the central podium as just happened a little bit ago. Ow. Let's do this, and some of this. Oh boy. He will start throwing poison potions like a normal witch at a certain point. Ow. Okay, come on. Get vulnerable again. Come on. Oh dear. Ow. Yeah, the lingering potions of harming definitely make this a difficult difficult arena to traverse. Oh, it's slowness, not weakness. So slowness for the second stage potions that come along with the harming. Obviously makes it harder to dodge. All of the potions. Ow. Oh dear. No. No, okay. This is a challenging battle for sure. Definitely not super duper easy. There's definitely things that you could do. Obviously having enchanted having enchanted gear is going to help a lot. Oh dear. We're playing pretty average expected resources. You should have probably at least full netherite armor. Full diamond armor is probably fine. A diamond or netherite sword. And then a good amount of golden apples out for sure. We did not bring enough milk, so we'll see how that goes for us. Oh gosh. Okay, he's getting vulnerable again. Oh dear. But definitely you can do more to give yourself more of an edge against him. Because he's a witch, he's not necessarily going to chase you. but he will let you back him into a corner, but he is going to poison you, which isn't insignificant. Oh dear. And of course, whenever you have to retreat, it just means that's less time that you're able to fight him for when he is vulnerable. Oh dear. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, vulnerable again. Ah, thought he was. Ah. Yeah, this is quite the fight. Oh my gosh. I did not bring enough milk. Yeah, we got a gamer focus here, guys. Sorry. I will mention, if you are struggling with the boss fight, if you do need to... Ow. If you do need to flee, that is fine, and it will... Oh dear. Nope, that's what I want. There we go. I wonder if a trident would be useful. If you do need to leave and try to escape and come back better prepared, that is okay. It will allow it, and he won't like spawn a whole bunch of drowned or anything like that. Ow! Why is he so accurate with his poison? Oh dear. Come on, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Stop doing that. Be vulnerable again. Oh, come on, come on. Ah. Yes. Let me get close. No. Yeah, this is a fight for sure. Okay, that's lovely. Ah, quit poisoning me. Oh dear, we're out of golden apples. We're in danger, boys. Okay. The nice thing is, if you are close to him when he does do his vulnerability, it's a splash potion of regeneration, so he can actually heal you a little bit, if you're lucky. Okay. Ah. Where'd he go? There he is. Okay, so that's that done. So that puts him down to stage 2. He's used a totem of undying. So restored him back to half health. Oh dear. Oh, we're gonna die. We are so dead. Yep, there we go. That's okay. Let's go ahead and fly back there and just kind of finish the job. Which direction was it? This way? I feel like it was this way. Did I just pass it? Maybe it was the other way. But yeah, I mean, tough boss fight, obviously. I did really well with Rexiel, and now I'm really struggling with Raiden. But you can see we don't know able to come back. If you do die, if you do need to flee or anything like that, obviously I have keep inventory on. But if we come back, everything is exactly as we left it. For the most part, he has healed himself quite a bit. Obviously, I'm in creative right now. We're just going to go ahead and take care of him the rest of the way here. because I don't want to waste time enchanting and things like that. So if you bring enchanted stuff, you should have a better time than me. You bring more milk, probably. There we go. Ooh, pretty decent. Ancient debris, or netherite scrap, I should say. Totem of Undying from him, Wither Rose. So not too bad. All right. I'm going to take this off now since I don't need it. Oh, come here. There we go. So yeah, a really tough boss fight, but definitely rewards you for coming prepared, having enchanted stuff, and gives you some decent loot, as well as the secret to unlife advancement for defeating him. Let's take a look at our advancement tree and see how we're doing for Seafarers. So yeah, we've got Pirates, Galleon, Dark Laboratory, and then the secret to unlife is our challenge for defeating Raiden. So we just have a few more structures to build for the Master of the Seas for every functional ship. Let's go ahead back to our fleet and finish that off. Alright. So let's see, what do we want to build next? Got our Brigantine. Is that really only... Oh, I guess so. We'll go ahead and build the Brigantine, which is like a prison ship. A little bit expensive, definitely need some iron blocks. Black and gray wool, or light gray wool, I should say, dark oak logs, and some stone. We'll go ahead and put that back here, I think. There we go. Oh, nope. Missed it. There we go. Alright, Brigantine. And as you can see, no more pirates are going to be spawning. We've finished our ninth structure, so we are finished with the pirates. Oh dear. Well, there goes our way down there. Let's go ahead and clear this water. So the Brigantine is made of dark oak, of course. It's got these nice black and light gray stripes on the sails. And big iron bars instead of fences. Kind of obviously be a prison ship to kind of keep you in. We'll go ahead and do that. Come on. There we go. Got some redstone back here. That's how you would normally do this trapdoor to get down into the hull. Looks like the sponge decided not to work, which is interesting. Is that a wet sponge? Oh. Where's a normal sponge? There we go. Weird. So we've got some drowned. Ooh, one of them spawned with a trident. Interesting. A couple of drowned in a cage. And of course we've got our guard to kind of watch over them. So he can sell you, or buy rotten flesh from you. He can sell you name tags and saddles, which are supposed to be kind of things that maybe had been collected or dropped by former prisoners. And then we've got a way to buy tridents as well for a decent amount of gold and 3 hearts of the sea. So if you explore far enough, get 3 hearts of the sea, you can go ahead and purchase a trident. If for whatever reason you get really unlucky, or I turn the odds down and there aren't any tridents in the Illager lab. Go ahead and pop back on up here and look at our next structure. Page 2, we'll get a portal ship going. So this is, again, a fairly expensive structure because of the importance of portals traveling to the in-between, things like that. So you're going to want some water that is not going to be returned. Phantom membrane, similar to building a mysterious portal in the overworld, things like that. So let's go ahead and build that real quick. Here we go. So this portal is made of blackstone, which I think is really, really cool. The ship is made of acacia. We've got some crying obsidian down there. There's not really a whole lot in the hull, but if you want to go down there, you can. The ladder's just in a different place. And of course, the portal is functional. So if we jump in here, that'll take us to the in-between. Not necessarily the same portal that we came out of. It'll be a brand new portal, but a good way to get back to the in-between easily and safely. There we go. And then you can go through the portal and end up back at your portal ship. There we go. All right, and then, yep, just one more ship, it looks like, our Clairvoyance ship, or rather ship of Clairvoyance. This is going to be rewarding for being a 1.17, now that we have 1.17 resources, so you can get a spyglass. There should be one more. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Yep, there is one thing that I'm playing with a version from just before the last update. so that's okay. There is one more ship that is not going to be shown here, so definitely keep an eye out for future Dev Diary videos to see what that ought to be, or what it does and is. And it's also already in the pre-release, so this version that I'm using right now, I just haven't updated it for this world to be using the latest version. So Ship of Clairvoyance, let's go ahead and build that real quick, and I'll explain why it is cool and useful. Actually, probably could have just used it for the boss fight, because, go ahead and do that. We get our Master of the Seas advancement for building every functional ship so far. We've got all these amethysts, including amethyst buds, which is really useful. A good way to start growing and collecting some amethyst in your fleet, or nice near your home instead of having to go out and find a geode. Got tinted glass here, looking down into the hull of the ship, where we have our Clairvoyant looking into this water with an Eye of Ender in it, which I think just looks really cool. To kind of look like he's looking in the future, things like that. All around, I should look over here, all around the side of the ship, we've got these nice crystals, and there are windows of tinted glass looking out from the inside. If we hop in here, the Clairvoyant will buy and sell amethyst shards for pretty decent prices, and he'll also sell this clear view spyglass. So it makes the holder immune to all effects, negative and positive. It's a really useful item to have if you are going to fight Raiden. So definitely a good thing to build before your boss fight with Raiden, because it's going to help you take care of that poison, take care of potentially the instant harming, depending on exactly how that works. But the poison is going to be the big thing. The slowness, things like that, is going to make your golden apples less effective too, obviously, but still really useful to have. So if we actually, let's go ahead and eat a golden apple, and I'll kind of show you how that's working. So if we eat a golden apple, you see obviously we get our regeneration, our absorption. Regeneration is going to go away in 3 seconds, but the absorption will stick around. If we go in survival, we have those extra hearts. But if we put on the Clearview Spyglass, not only do we lose our absorption, we lose those extra hearts. If we were to be poisoned, let's go ahead and grab a splash potion of poison, as well as a splash potion of instant harming, perhaps. I'll grab 2 of those, I think. So if we give ourselves the poison, and then do that, we're fine. Gives ourselves instant harming, we're fine. And actually, I'm interested to see now, or we're not fine, because we weren't holding it when it hit us. So let's actually grab one of those again. Instant damage, and I want a lingering potion of instant damage as well. So let's go here. We'll hold the spyglass in our offhand while we splash ourselves with harming. So that does still hurt us. So definitely something to keep in mind. It's not going to protect you from everything, but from things that stick around for sure. I suspect, yep, that too is not going to protect you from. But takes care of the poison for sure. So really the slowness, the weakness. So a really useful item to have when you're fighting Raiden the Necromancer. And that is all the ships in this current version. There is one more ship that is in the current pre-release that I just don't have here. It's called the Fishing Barge, and it works similarly to a regional outpost. I'll probably talk about that and the same, the regional outpost variant that's for excavators in a future Dev Diary video. For now, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Dev Diaries for Future of New in Town Dimensions. Sorry I didn't beat Raiden totally 100% fairly. He's actually, for me personally, a much harder fight than Rexiel, in particular because fire resistance is a lot more effective than milk for dealing with the more lingering powers that be, or spells that those bosses can cast. So depending on what you're good at, what materials you have available, Rexiel and Raiden can vary in terms of difficulty for you guys. With that said, thank you again so much for watching. Remember to check out the channel, leave a like, and share with your friends to help New in Town grow and expand. And check out the rest of the channel for the 1.16 Let's Play of New in Town, as well as future Dev Diary videos that you can keep an eye on by subscribing. Thank you again for watching. I will see you guys next time.